How's it going, everyone? I have to look at the day to see what day it is. Thursday. Happy Thursday. It all gets mixed up all together sometimes in Hexaco. Glad to see you all here. Come on, pile in. We got a great show today. I'm excited. We got Gerardo's back in house. Hopefully, Coffee will be joining us a little bit too. And I want to talk about looking into Hex. We're going to look into Hex. We're going to, just like the title of the stream says, look into Hex. It's all caps, so it's kind of like, I guess you could emphasize it, you could yell it, you could sing to it, you can dance to it, you can cry to it, you can be hopeful about it, but we're going to look into it. We're going to get into it. It's going to be fun. So anyways, I'll get chat in just a moment. Without further ado, welcome back to the show, Gerardo.
Yo, looking Hex. Yeah, definitely cry about it. That's the one I thought about the most because that price chart is horrid. But no, yeah, we got some new updates in. It was my first child, right? Looking Hex. And I've told the story a bunch of times, but it started with just like a Wix site, Wix, right? It's kind of like a Squarespace. Just build your own site, a little Excel spreadsheet, and then like just insert HTML from Excel or Google Sheets or whatever the heck into a Wix site, and then from there, yay, my first Fiverr dev. He was cool. He helped, but the backend was so messy though. But at least it was automated, right? But it was like a freaking mess. And now it's like most of the data is grabbed from on chain. It's automated. GameSys, the dude who made PulseX lead, right? Both leaderboards for the sacrifices. He's been helping me out. He reworked the entire back end. It's beautiful. So now adding new charts is like insanely easy versus before it would take like a ton of communication, a ton of reworking. But now it's like we have the primitives, I guess you could say, like the main building blocks to like, okay, we want to get either this coin's price or this liquidity pool or this or that. And it's so easy. And if you notice, we added like 2 charts just in the last week on top of the big update, which was like, we can talk all about that and get into that. But I mean, it was a long time coming, like adding Pulse on the ROI chart, PulseX. Everyone wants to see it, right? Hex versus BTC versus ETH. That's like, RH's favorite chart for like a minute there. And now what more natural thing to do than add the new coins, Pulse and PulseX? And I think we added Sol today. I haven't pushed that update yet, but yeah. No, a lot of cool updates coming. So now's the time. So if you guys have cool ideas for charts, just throw them at me and you might see them come into life way sooner.
When you said it was your first child, it made me think of so are you gonna tell everyone to go use P look into Hex now instead of E look into Hex? You're gonna get rid of the first child?
No, of course not.
You're not gonna join the debate, Gerardo?
If you want to buy a new coin, buy PX, right? But like,
you just triggered
a lot of
50% of people. You just triggered everyone. Yeah, 50% of people.
Well, it's for the new onwards. I triggered probably like the OGs or whatever. But like, we have both. Like everyone who was in it for years has both. You got it copied over, and like that's not even a debate. I feel like it's effectively, you could think of it as free money, or you could think about it like the ETC ETH fork, or the Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin Private, Bitcoin Diamond, all that crap. Those kind of forks. Like eventually one becomes the premier store of value for whatever reason, the market decides, right? And the rest just become, I don't want to say relics of the past, but they become just not as valuable. Like one ETC right now, Ethereum Classic, I think is worth like 1/100th of an ETH. Last I checked, it was like $30 to $3K.
Well, all the counterpoints to that is it's kind of like, okay, the new people, they don't have it, so it's not free for them. If the price wasn't down so much, even the combined price would suck. The major onboarding from Ethereum would be through eHex. That's the easiest thing to buy from the chain and bridge over and all that stuff.
True.
It's that's why it's like, yeah, it's interesting how we
eHex is lower liquidity. It's easier to pump. That's for sure. That's like just factual. It's just easier to pump. But yeah, for new onboards, it's like what would you tell new onboards to buy, BTC or BCH, if they're gonna look for a Bitcoin? Let's be real. Would you tell them to buy ETH or ETC?
Well, if I was a Bitcoin maxi and I had both at the fork, that may get a little bit interesting though.
But that's intellectual dishonesty, right?
How so?
If you're just telling people to buy just to pump your bags versus like what's actually better and what might get retail adoption. And are there Bitcoin Cash ETFs? Yes or no? Like the market really decided with that.
They just filed a Solana ETF. They filed a Solana ETF.
You know what?
But don't be surprised.
Daddy ETF? No.
Daddy ETF. Yeah, I think
Things you
there's. I
say.
mean, the complexities there is if Bitcoin had the same Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash had the same founder. I mean, there's so many things we have in our ecosystem that are.
Nuance, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
an interesting philosophical discussion though. Like, how much do you think you onboard people based on what's going to benefit you and your bags, and how much you onboard them, how much you incentivize to onboard them, not what you think and what you believe and like all that stuff. Like, how much effort do you see yourself making to onboard people into things that you don't personally have? I think that's always an interesting question.
Yeah. Again, I think it goes back to intellectual honesty and just like I'd be happy onboarding someone into Bitcoin or Ethereum with their 401k or whatever the heck, like moving institutional money in, or boomer money, I guess, if you want to call it that.
You wouldn't in a casual conversation, but you wouldn't make look into Bitcoin.com to be like, I'm gonna really put my foot forward, right?
Who, me?
Yeah, because I
Where do
imagine
you think I got the look into concept? Look into BTC.com is already a thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, just generally, you wouldn't go build another thing to onboard people because it's not in your best interest.
Probably not. No, but I would happily onboard someone into BTC, even though I don't have like huge bags of BTC. So like, because it's just better. It's like you're improving their life slowly through getting them into a better money, and over time, maybe 5-10 years down the line, they finally end up in the alternate EVMs and end up like finding PulseChain. But I feel like just planting seeds, even if they don't directly benefit you in the moment, as long as you're intellectually honest about it, will come back karmically and benefit you later. If you're really looking at it from like a selfish perspective, ironically, being selfless in that sort of regard could come back and just benefit you anyways. I mean, that's how I see it. But this is philosophical for sure. We're diving into philosophical waters.
We can philosophize as much as you want, Gerard. We can philosophize. Zena says, stop Zena, by the way. Sloth, or I said Sloth, ETF filed. Shout out to Crypto Sloth. Sol ETF filed. Which one's next? That is interesting. I don't know how far this. I don't want to believe the Sol one's going to go that far, but they did file it, and this does feel like a ripe ETF season. What do you think?
Solana's an interesting one. I feel like there are a lot of traditional finance guys, rich VCs with a skin in the game wanting to see that go up. And I've even seen like conspiracy threads on X about like, yeah, no, it's just all of those guys who had the capital to pump that thing up to bring in retail, and it's a whole psyop, and like all the Solana meme coins and shit coins are just to, enrich those guys who got wrecked because of FTX. Because I know he held like a ton of Solana and was like a huge backer. And so you can go down the rabbit hole and like say whether that the Solana pump and the meme coin craze was organic or not. But at the end of the day, they'll just yell at you, be like, look at this $20 million portfolio, not organic enough for you. Like, they just don't care if they're making money, which is valid. All the people who made money off the like Solana meme coin craze. But Solana's not viable blockchain tech yet. I mean, it's just obvious for people who know about real blockchain. Like, it's not a real blockchain if you're able to shut it on and off. Is it a beta, a V1 before like a proper blockchain? Perhaps, but it hasn't been battle tested as long, and it's not him, bro. Like, Ethereum is the one with like, what's that word? Provenance? Gravitas, provenance. It has like 80 billion plus in stable coins. It's like second in market cap, only ever been flipped, I think, once by XRP back in like 2018 for like 5 minutes.
Shout out to XRP in the year 2017.
I hope they win their lawsuit, but no, I don't hold any of that stuff.
Do you remember when Tether was on Omni?
I don't go back to that far.
It's tough. There's not a lot of people do. Like, I barely remember it, but that was a thing, by the way. Fun fact.
Yeah. Fun fact. But I mean, if the Solana ETF actually goes through, we live in an upside down world, which I've already kind of accepted that we live in an upside down world sometimes. So it wouldn't surprise me. It would make me a little sad, I can't lie, if Solana got an ETF, just because it's just another way to wipe out boomers' retirement savings, I guess. It's sad, but like, this stuff happens.
I felt like you were cheering for it almost, but you were like, I don't want it to happen, but yeah.
I could see it happening because we live in an upside down world. But I'd prefer a PulseChain ETF, obviously, even though that's like,
I don't know. I could even counter that, be like, if we get a PulseChain ETF, then price do all those exits again. Like I want an ETF once it's already went up way far. I didn't give you a
ETFs
timeline.
just like paper money? Like they're not even real. You can't even redeem for the actual underlying asset. You just have to hope that the one selling it to you actually holds the asset, which they can prove, but like.
Well, it has an effect on regardless. It has an effect on markets whether they actually hold it or not. There's different flavors of it, but yeah, maybe PulseChain ETF in like 5 years or so. Let's get that 10,000x first, and be like, oh, okay, maybe we can set up. We can let the institutions in a little bit. We can get you a little bit. You want your 10x? Come on for your 10x. That'd be nice.
True.
Speaking of that, before we move on to get into looking more into Hex, meme coins, something I'd have thought today too. Meme coins versus tech. Meme coins have been all the rage lately. Do you think it's dying down? Do you think people are looking more for new tech projects and like utility and all that stuff now? Or how do you feel like the PulseChain, broader market otherwise? How do you feel that's going to shake out?
Meme coins, I mean, they're undoubtedly, unarguably a huge sector of crypto. I'm not the expert though. I will admit that. I don't really know much other than just intuitively speaking. I could say like they obviously capture culture. They capture good vibes. They capture the power of the meme, which we all know is incredibly powerful. And yeah, it's just, hey, whatever gets people into crypto. Truly. Like I hope they make money. I know meme coins can run like crazy, and whatever gets them into eventually, hopefully, at least a small allocation to the underlying asset. Speaking purely in a biased way, my meme coin portfolio does not cross a few percentage points personally. So I'd rather people buy ETH or PLS or BTC or whatever instead of actually buying a meme coin on said chains. For long term, anyways, because how many meme coins have actually been around for more than like 5 years and not gone to zero? Like SHIB, Doge, Pepe. I don't even know Pepe's 5 years old. But like SHIB, Doge, Pepe, and like
it's got to be like 2 years old, maybe.
There's some new ones too, which might last. But again, you don't know. Just because something is, pumping super hard, has hundreds of millions in market cap or billions, doesn't mean it's going to be that way forever. Like just look at old relics like Dash or other narratives of the past, right? Like I'm trying to think of like some old ones that some people would be like, oh my God, I can't remember that was a top 3.
Gotta get that Dash masternode.
No, never dabbled in that. But like if you go to the Wayback Machine and then you go to like coinmarketcap.com and go to like 2016 or something, you'll be like, oh my goodness, like that coin, and just forget that it was even a coin, or let alone a top 10. It's like, so I don't know. I don't like trying to predict whether a sector will dominate or do well or go up or go down, because at the end of the day, that's all just speculation, and they're just leverage plays on the broader crypto market. I feel like, or just phenomena in time that you predict.
Yeah, so, there's plenty of positive things we've seen meme coins do to chains. I mean, Solana, ton of volume, PulseChain, ton of volume, and just different stuff like that. But they are one of those things where you could question, like, how sustainable are they? Like, are people going to? They're fun, interesting, quick games a lot of people like to play. But are they? How long will they last? Will people get bored and be like, actually, I want to see some tech stuff. I want to like invest instead of just speculate again. That type of thing. I wonder if we're coming up on, if there's an inflection point at some point within the broader ecosystem. No, you still there? I feel like I'm live. We lose Gerardo for a minute. Chat, let me know. Did Gerardo get rugged, or am I rugged talking to myself right now? Fast Abdul.
We back?
Oh, we're back. We're back. Awesome.
I rugged, not you.
You. The chat says you rugged. Literally, Max is good. Other dude is rugged. Oh, I think you're slow moving, and there's a delay, but you're sort of back. He's like, say his name. His name is Gerardo. I mean, to be fair, the comment's up, so you can't really see people's names up there if you're not familiar. Jardo still
Internet.
still
Wow, Jesus Christ.
looking rugged. It's okay. I'll
See
talk
me
to
back.
Chat. Oh, you're sort of back. Sort of. There was hope.
I mean, I'm blurry, but I'm here, right?
That's true. Yeah. Do you want to just talk for a minute, see if it works?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Why not? Good to see me back with this high tier production quality. But what were we talking about?
I can almost make out your face.
Almost.
We were talking about memes, whether it's going to go back into utility. People are going to get tired of playing speculation, do more investing. Which ones survive? Positivity for chains. We're about to get into Into Hex. But if you're, did you want to present once we get the resolution figured out? Did you want to show?
I can. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
Still not a rug, but questionable value. We're gonna have to get that value up for you fast. Don't worry, we're gonna get it back.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna mess around with the camera resolution, StreamYard. You think it's internet, StreamYard, camera? Like, what would your professional?
I mean, for me, it's usually just temporary drops in like latency. So
yeah,
usually auto corrects. But if you've turned a couple knobs, maybe this work for now. I think resolution is one thing, but if you present, it shouldn't affect that if you're able to present. And we took a picture of Jardo. It is a cool picture, though. It looks like a lifestyle pose. He's like, let's see which way am I? This way. He's like, I'll put the microphone in here for a second. Hey, look, there's the microphone. You guys saw it for a second? See it? Okay.
We're back.
Oh, and you just did the spinny thing. Too many rugs. I read this first as too many rugs, just like Solana, as in like he keeps dropping too many times, as in Solana. It's going down. How many times has Solana went down? It's got to be 11. I want to say 11, 12 times. I think it was 10 at first. But anyways, I don't know what, I've never really studied their tech, but I wonder why it does go down so much. When most other networks, that's like a very rare event. All right.
Hello.
So you added this one. Blink once for, okay. Okay, I can see you blinking. There's that.
Okay, sick.
Do you want, should you dare share a screen and look into Hex with us? We're going to test the streaming gods.
Right? Anything's better than this.
It's all right. We gave everyone a 2-minute head start to get in. The numbers have been going up for viewers, so don't worry.
Oh, amazing. Okay, here, let me just share my screen. Sure, why not? Share screen. Application window. Into Hex. Share. Sure, why not?
Awesome. And could you did a little bit. You did a little bit introduction for what it looked like originally, but could you just talk about what V1, V2, and V3? There's 3 versions, right? Like what the differences were?
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. So Look Into Hex V1 was me just, getting into Hex for the first time, getting into spreadsheets. I know math. So let's into the Cryptoverse guy, because he has killer charts, and he was the first guy to really just shine as like a mega nerd in the crypto space with his analysis versus just bros being like up, down, ETF, this, that. This guy was just like, so if you look at the rate of change of the ROI, or if you look at he just had all these very technical, very quantitative type analysis. So I thought, what, let's make the best quantitative analysis site / dashboard for Hex. And it began in June. Look at that. In 2021, 3 years ago. And the V1 was just a simple Wix site. It was an Excel spreadsheet being fed to that Wix site. And I had to update manually every single day, things like prices of Hex and whatnot. I would go to Nomics, copy paste the the open, the high, the close, the low of the day, paste it in, and to generate all the charts, I had to be there every single day. And then V2 was it was automated, so I didn't have to manually input data every single day. But it was a little the backend was super messy, and it was difficult to add new charts very quickly. It was a very cumbersome process to add new charts. And V3 recently launched, and now the backend has been completely reworked by GameSys, the dev who made the PulseChain, PulseX sacrifice leaderboards. Killer dev, one of my best devs. He's development, and he reworked the entire backend. A ton of the data is now grabbed directly on chain. On chain, all the PulseChain charts, all the PLSX, Inc, and all of that on things like ROI, and distinguishing between Phex and EHEX. Share rate, shares tab. You can see it kind of like diverge into two different colors because that's two different hexes. And so, yeah, I mean, we can get right into it. It's evolved over time. And I should give a shout out to what it used to be. The most long-standing, I would say, most popular chart of the site is the ROI from launch, and it's gotten a whole new or exclude certain people will. Am I dropping frames, by the way? Just double checking, or am I good?
I support you, but yes, you are from time to time.
Oh shoot. Okay.
It's okay. We have pretty pictures to look at, so we hear most of what you're saying at least.
Well, from launch chart, and whichever charts you don't want to see, you can just take off. So let's say you just want to see Bitcoin, Ethereum, and if this hex was staked, well, then your ROI was a little bit, you got more hex, obviously. So then you would see the hex chart, and you can tell it's just the same chart but offset vertically a bit, particularly once big payday hits.
Drew, I don't know if you can hear me, but you dropped for like 10, 20 seconds. Do you want to try and
What was
the
last
video?
Honestly, why not? What was the last thing you heard?
Shit. GameSys, great dev, and then you were talking
No
about,
way. That's the last thing you heard? That's so
no, it's probably not, but I can't remember the last 30 seconds actually. I was talking in the chat for a minute. Sorry.
No, I'll stop cam. Sure, why not?
Let's try that and just see if the audio comes through clear. If so, that's
all right.
what we need.
Cool. So yeah, I was pretty much just talking about how staked hex, eHex anyways, you can see the gap growing between a eHex share and just eHex itself, liquid, because you get more coins, obviously. So your ROI, I counted that in the ROI for this. So like if you doubled your coins, same price as someone who didn't double their coins, they have double the ROI technically. So ROI is price performance times inflation, pretty much realizable inflation. So yeah, so you can definitely see that here. And if I get rid of BTC and ETH, this vertical offset, this gap time, it started mainly during the big payday hex inflation event where people, got what, like 40% on their coin.
Yeah.
I do the math here and look at like 24.6 versus 15.2 ish. So if you divide that, you probably get around whatever that was. If you're staked for a super long time, coins. So even now, look at that. What is that, like a 3 to 4x difference almost? Being staked versus not governments. How that works already. People know how hex staking works. But the point of this is the ROI is shown for all these different charts. So we added obviously PLS. Here's the chat, incentive token, PHEX, a PHEX share, which is going to be very similar to that EHEX share chart. It's kind of trash, but it's to see how staked PHEX, has overperformed liquid PHEX for obvious reasons. It always will. And yeah. Dabble around with the AA data, because a lot of these charts, or all of these charts, truly are, when I say from launch, how do you difference first available for purchase on the open market? So like a Uniswap, for example, for Hex, which was December 18th of 2019. But for the hardcore Hexkins, that they know that these 16 days there of, you could say, missing data. And you can get that data by looking at how much ETH entered the adoption amplifier, how much Hex came. And when you do that, like an actual price per se. So if you include AA data, that price actually started much, much higher. So ROI is worse. If you were, day one adoption amplify, technically half. But if you were staked, you're up pretty much a 2x. So not crazy price performance compared to 10,000x or something, but it is a little more, you could say, just honest because of this. At whatever price that AA rate was, if I recall correctly, yeah, I think it was like 20,000 ETH on day one, $100 per ETH at the time, $2 million, and I think like, I don't know, a billion Hex or something came out on day one. So if you do the math correctly, it not on Uniswap, right? Not on the DEX. So you can include that AA data, you can exclude it, you can include it and take the median of the first 15 days, or exclude it and take the median of the first 15 days, just because it was a very volatile time. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty much as detailed and nuanced an ROI chart as you can get, I would think, for something like Hex. And then you can change the first day, right? Day one, you could consider, because right here, for example, this chart, this first one, normalizes based on respective launch days. So like Bitcoin launched, freaking thousands of days ago.
Yeah, which other chains is it
Fair
showing?
starting line. Sorry, what?
Which other coins or chains is it showing there?
On the first chart?
On the one you're on now, is it showing? I'm just seeing the lines, but is this normalizing data from Bitcoin for Hex and for ETH and other stuff?
Sorry, we're dropping. What was that?
Is this showing the difference between Bitcoin and Hex and ETH and like a bunch of different coins?
Correct.
Yeah. What are the other different coins? I can't see them on the screen from my view.
Oh, my bad. So yeah, you can compare between coins. We'll add Solana next day or two, and then our favorite hexes on both chains, staked or liquid. So those are all bring it back to since eHex launched, pretty much, and look at ROI from there. All right, what has outperformed the most? Looks like ETH and BNB. So you can your starting date pretty much, whether it's respective launch dates, which are all different dates here, or this is all chronological, where this is actual. It's ROI since Hex launch, and then just some other cool ones, just kind of arbitrary time periods like yearly ROI for eHex or PHex. This is kind of a cool one because you can see that Hex out, and then you get like what by the end of the year, and then the next 2 years are just rubbish price performance. 93% down, and then 2023 it was like 70% down. We need to add 2024. But you can look at yearly ROI for eHex or PHex. eHex or PHex, right? And it gets messy, so you can look at just like, the quarters of 2020 if you want. For eHex or PHex, you have your monthly ROI. Again, these are just arbitrary sort of satisfying. And yeah, so the best performing month for PHex in 2024 this year was January. It looks like February was break even, and the next 3 were like 40% down, 20% down, 20% down.
2024 dev.
Return on investment.
We're going to have some up arrows for 2024.
You know what? I hope to see it. I really do. And then, so that's the ROI chart. Liquidity. This one gets... I
really like this one, by the way. It's one of my favorite.
Me too, man. It's just something satisfying about it. So this is total liquidity, adding pretty much all token pairs, all dexes. Well, I'll get into that. And, both the bid and ask side. So it's breaking it down into... This is the best way I could think of breaking it down. What token pairs is the most liquidity on PHex wrap Pulse? What DEX is the most liquidity on for Hex, PulseX V1? And is most of that on the bid side or the ask side? So like on a you could have like a discrepancy between the bid side and the ask side. So it looks like we're actually chilling with a little more on the bid side, which is always nice to see. Like $10.78 million supporting all the Hex that's liquid or available for sale on these dexes. And yeah, over time, we really should add certain dexes like 9-inch, 9mm, and so on, because they do have significant liquidity, more so than even some of these pairs on here. To be fair, some of those are very asymmetrical, but that's okay. It's still liquidity nonetheless, and it'll give a better insight into even this bid-ask spread and just overall coins on the market. So some future updates for this. I'll get into it a little more, but some future updates are distinguishing between eHex and PHex for this liquidity. Because right now we kind of treat it all as the same, but in reality, well, they're different coins, PHex and eHex. So that should be fixed. It should say something like total liquidity for eHex, total liquidity for PHex, because most of it is on PHex, for being fair. So that should be distinguished upon. We're going to add more dexes, like 9mm, 9-inch. But overall, this is what it's going to look like even after we add all that. You'll see your most liquid pair here. It'll show you the DEX, right? PulseX V1, as I mentioned earlier. The PHex wrap pulse pair is very thick, which with about 200 billion pulse, which is about $9 million on the bid side, and about 1 point of that. Prices here. Yeah, you just go down from the thickest to the thinnest pairs. Yeah, interesting, huh? But they're not correctly ordered now that I look at this. Like this one has 9 ordered. Yeah, we'll get this perfected. So that's the liquidity chart or the liquidity dashboard.
It's awesome.
And then we can look at shares. And this is when the new update, the V3 update, really kicks in a lot, because now you're looking at, and again, all directly from the chains themselves. And you can see, for example, here when up 27,000, and then immediately you get this divergence forming. funny enough, the EHEX t-shirt rate is a little higher right now than the PX t-shirt rate. So you can see that and track it real time. 5,000 roughly share. Oh, I added this watermark too, by the way. Shout out Katie. Giving me that idea. But yeah, then you can have the t-shirt price itself in USD, and this metric that RH used to talk about a lot back in the day and loved it as a concept, but hasn't really talked about it. Amount of t-shirts in circulation times the price of a t-shirt. You could see that as a proxy for, you know, how much capital is defending. It's quite an abstract. Is like the price of a t-shirt times the amount of t-shirts, because you can't directly sell a t-shirt on the market for face thing. But then even that, I don't know if they're being sold at a discount or at a premium. I haven't looked at the HSI stuff in a minute. Their t-shirt is $188 right now. An EX t-shirt is about $53. And those market caps are reflected respectively right there at a 1.7 billion and 480 million respectively. I can't exclude OA though. We don't have a button that says exclude OA, which would be nice, like the GoPulse guys have. That in respect to like an ETH or BTC, if you remember, like the tippy top of EHEX, a t-shirt was worth 3 ETH at the time, which is kind of crazy to think about. But right now they're just Crypto Coffee has entered chat. Nice. Just to finish off this chart, or this page, I should say, you have your daily payout per t-shirt. So you can see the.
Sorry, I was muted. I said not to interrupt, but Crypto
averages.
Coffee.
I just like to have the averages
while he's going through the charts.
Copy.
What's up, guys? Hey, sorry I'm late, but hey, good to see you, Max, Gerardo, and shout out to the new lookinttohex.com. It looks great. Happy that you're still maintaining it.
Gerardo's audio is wrecked right now, but
shoot,
we're working with it. We're working with it. But the charts have been beautiful enough.
Someone says get a Starlink. What are you in the middle of nowhere? Is he in like the boonies or what?
I don't know actually.
Well, yeah, I just had a stream with Ben Armstrong, so I'm sorry I couldn't be here. Sorry, Max.
You chose Ben over me.
He has more followers than you, and I chose him.
But I have the glove. I have the 5 rings. No, I don't have that. Okay, yeah, sorry.
That's right. Yeah.
That's what we were talking about. I was telling Gerardo, I'm like, yeah, coffee beer in a little bit.
It was very last minute because it was like we changed the times so much on that thing. I actually did a whole podcast with him before that they somehow like deleted, lost it. So this was like the redo of that. But I don't know. It wasn't quite as good. But, you know, it is what it is. He's got, I don't know, 100,000 followers, a wide audience. So why not spread the message to his audience too?
I'm highly unoffended. Don't worry.
Good. Gerardo, so what's been up, dude? Like, how's life?
You know, I mean, Gerardo, I'm sure he'll be back in a minute. We've got 20 minutes in, audio was fine. And then all of a sudden just super choppy. And we went audio only and still didn't help much. But
let's pick up where we left off.
I mean, we were just looking into Hex. Sure, I'll be back. Let's see. Oh, that was you in the chat.
Kind of a dull moment in the world of PulseChain today. Prices are down. You dollar cost average, buy more, cry, whine on Twitter.
That was the intro. It was like, we're gonna look at some charts about Hex. We can dance to them. We can sing to them. We can cry to them.
Yeah,
lots of things.
Yeah, not looking good. But you know, at the end of the day, it only takes a few $1 million to really reignite this ecosystem. That's all that, you know, a mysterious origin address would have to do to, I think, spur a total FOMO spree. I think it takes a lot less than people realize. You know what I mean? And especially when the ETH ETF, when ETH is green, that'll trickle in. That'll help everybody feel a little bit richer. And we're off to the races again. So I think I'm bullish until 2025, right? Survive till 25 has always been the motto.
Survive till 25. That's almost sounds like a, you know, make America great again. I want to have like that, but like in the patriotic banner, survive till 2025, pulsechain.com. Hex.com. Yeah, either one.
Yeah, it's a game of survival. It really is. I mean, crypto is kind of in a way, business is a game of survival too. So I mean, it's just like if you want to do something important and big, you just have to not quit. I mean, as long as you're learning and getting better, and you're not literally a lunatic, insane person doing the same thing over and over. But it's a fine line, repetition matters too. Repetition, because new people are coming in and we need to let people know what is Hex, what is PulseChain, what is PulseX, what is INC token. People, I mean, is anybody new in the chat? Anybody in the chat new? Because feel free to ask us any questions. I know a lot of people are the same old repeat customers here, but onboarding people is the most important part.
Yeah, I mean that's I think recently you had retweeted the PulseChain faucet that came out, and I'm hoping that
the
will help.
The faucet is awesome, by the way. I love that there's a 10-minute timer. My only complaint is that it was only 300 PLS. I wanted to fund a new wallet and I wanted to do a swap. And the swap was like 450, and I was like, dang, I have to do this all over again.
No, that's great feedback, actually.
Actually, no, the approval was 450, meaning the swap would have been another 450 or so.
Should be 200 or 300, but it could be 450 during high times. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like if you could make it 1,000, that might solve the issue. How have you been with people gaming the system? I mean, I saw you had a versatile checker. You had I see you have a timer. Is it restricted by IP address as well?
I've got a story to tell you, sir. Yes, that's why I launched it at 1,000, and then people were just gaming it. A lot of the early donations, there weren't very many, but the ones that did, thank you, the early donations, appreciate it. But they just left really quickly. It Foster ran out of funds really quickly at 1,000. That's when I was like, okay, I got to tone it down and let me put in some different protections. I turned on the Vercel security thing. I've added like 5 or 6 different ones I was telling Gerardo about as well. And the timer actually has been the most effective, where basically to keep people, incentivize them to use it instead of abuse it, you need to have some component that makes it expensive. Like they have to spend a lot of time or whatever. They can't just click the button over and over and over. So actually the 10-minute timer, that was the killer feature so far that has made it really slow down. People using the faucet used to be like several per hour. And now it's like maybe like once per hour or so. And actually it looks like people using it legit and not just doing it over and over and over. But it's a delicate balance between, I want to, as a builder, in this case, I want to make sure people, I want to make sure the donations go as far as they can. But also I want the users to be fulfilled when they use it. I want them to use it once every 24 hours or whenever, and they get what they need to do a transaction. So this is great feedback. I was thinking about once it's stabilized, which is stabilized for about 3 or 4 days now, knock on wood. Once everything's settled, I would turn it back up on the PLS a little bit. So good feedback. I know, we were talking about a little bit.
You definitely need those two.
The right one.
You need the approval and then the swap, right? If you're going to buy more Pulse. So
interesting. Okay, good. That's great feedback. I'm glad we talked about it. But anyways, that's been the one thing I've been busy with lately. Yeah, Gerardo's back.
Gerardo looks like he's in the lab right now.
Turned on Starlink.
Yo, no, I turned on my mobile hotspot, as ghetto as that sounds.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, it's whatever works, man.
Hey, man.
Streaming off a phone.
That's the motto, man. Isn't that crazy? You have like the best AT&T internet in my locale, and it's just like, no, bro, it just doesn't work.
We're not working for the next 30 minutes for you. Deal with it. Yeah.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm gonna open your stream on the side just to make sure I don't look like I'm streaming from a potato. Wow, that's actually better. That's actually crazy.
Gerardo was just telling us right before coffee joined about when and if the exact timing of the 10,000X and when it's going to come for PHEX and EHEX separately, actually. So if you want to continue down that conversation, that'd be great.
Yeah. Let me consort to the magic conch.
The magic conch.
Will we ever hit $1?
I think we're hitting $1. He's going to reveal the algorithm for 10,000X. Got a pen and paper. I got a pen and paper over here.
Shake the magic 8-ball. Will we ever hit 10,000X?
If we absolutely not.
Damn it. Shake it again. Shake it again.
No.
Absolutely not. Shake it again. Shake it again.
I will manifest this. Yes.
Hold on.
Did you ever do that with those 8 balls as a kid? You would just like not get the answer you want and just shake it again until you get the answer you want.
Interesting. I think I just asked a different question. Maybe a game to ask it a different question a different way. There you go. And then gave me a better answer.
But yeah, I mean, before we were so rudely interrupted by my shitty internet connection. I mean, I was talking about the basic stuff that, looking at Hex now supports both PHEX and EHEX data, contract data, such as, your share rate, your daily payout per T share, all of that good stuff, all of that contract data directly grabbed from the chain. So you can see the spikes, for example, usually reflect what emergency end stakes or hacks or some other shit like that. But no, you can see it now on two chains. Oh yeah, I was just talking about how I like to have these moving averages as well, because people who stake often want to know how much am I going to make in a month or a year. Rarely is it someone staking thinking how much am I going to make in a day. So that's what these moving averages are for, and also just to show you a trend, right? So like, let's get the raw way.
No.
There he goes again.
There we go again.
Oh, he's back.
It grows from like a shit. What was the last thing y'all heard?
Nothing. Just you're fine.
It was like 5 seconds. Don't worry.
Or like 5 seconds. Yeah. So the long-term moving averages really show you the trend pretty much. It's like an EHEX payout per T-shirt, just trending up. Used to be, 5.9, used to be 6, and now we're pretty much averaging 7 payout, 7 hex per T-shirt on EHEX. So you can see that clearly here. What about PHEX? Let's look at PHEX. And I don't want to do a yearly MA, only a 30-day MA for obvious reasons. But yeah, that's same with PX, trending up. Damn, we're averaging 8 for a whole month there.
Wow.
Lots of capitulation, guys. Lots of rinsing out.
Yeah. Oh, you guys are gonna like the newest charts though, because these are kind of boring, obvious. Like these are old news, like how many T-shirts exist on both chains and your minimum and your maximum APY, depending on whether you stake for the longer pays better bonus or not, and so on.
Like
so right now, for example, 8%, 8.4% on EHEX, 8.1% on PHEX, APY if you're staking just for the year. But if you're staking for the maximum length, you're looking at like 24 to 25% APY. So all you guys who are quoting 38%, stop it. Bad. No 38%. That was the good old days.
The website still says that.
But Hex.com still says 38%.
Yeah, I was going to say. But it says mining too.
Data.
Are we staking or mining? How many different questions are we going to answer on this? Staking or mining?
You know what?
No, I thought 38% was the average, including the pre-big payday stakers.
Correct. So if you look back, if you look way back here, like you scroll back, I see a 38% EHEX max APY, right? But then it just starts going down because people, obviously the average starts smoothing out.
Max APY is different than average, right?
Max APY is different than average.
Like of all the stakers in the system, because you've got those early guys still making like 60, 70, 80%. Yeah.
Right. This assumes you start staking today.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's actually a really good point to make, because if you started staking back then you are pretty much like 2-3x higher than these numbers for the max APY. Yeah. So that's where you get your like 70, 80% APYs. That's a really good point, actually.
Maybe that's just the marketing for the site too. It just wants to show, like, historically speaking, what has happened. It's not up to date every day because it would have to change a lot anyways. It's just going with what's the best marketing, even though it is, depending on what time scale you look at, how accurate it is. Yeah, maybe that's fine.
Yeah, there's a lot of nuance in this. Clarity is really important. And it's hard to like be very clear and detailed when you want to just do like a quick, easy marketing sentence. 38% APY. But this is what, EHEX stakers got if they stake pre-big payday for the max link. Like that's when the marketing stops being sexy, I guess. But no, I am a fan of clarity. And Coffee, that was a good point. That this is for new stakers. Like if you start staking today, these are the stats versus like, the old guys are definitely getting more.
Quick question too. There's a couple in the chat I want to get to before we go to the next amazing chart. Again, beautiful site, by the way. I really like this. Daniel at Hellar Tech LLC. What about the future of PHEX? You guys got on that?
Future of PHEX? Well, I mean, it's probably going to be brighter than the future of EHEX unless Richard changes his mind again and somehow he could bond them to parity. That's one thing he could do. Like he could buy the price of EHEX up to PHEX, then put in a whole bunch of EHEX, PHEX liquidity. But he's got to make sure everybody's really shaken out before he would do that. So rather than have that fantasy, fan fiction theory, I'm just going to say the future of PHEX is much brighter than probably EHEX. Like I could see $2 to $5 PHEX at the top, giving us hundreds of X's of returns if you buying right now at I think we're at the all-time lows, right? We're right. We double tapped the all-time low at half a penny ish. Well, I haven't checked the price yet today. Let's see.
Yeah, me neither.
We bounced off of that, so that's good. But yeah, half a penny. While it is brutal to look at your balance, if you were holding for a long time, it's $5,000 to get $1 million today. So
that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's not an all-time. Well, depends how you look at it.
PulseChain network. If you filter by ATL, we are 0.2% above the all-time low on the PulseChain network chart.
Where are you seeing that? I'm looking at Dex Screener.
GoPulse.com. You could just flip to the all-time low. Yeah.
See, after making a hex statistical site, you learn all about these little freaking nuances. Like, what are they looking at? Are they looking at day one prices? Are they looking at the open of day one, or an average of open, high, low, close? Or are they like what are they looking at exactly? Because if you look at Dex Screener, that first bottom wick was 2 zeros and 3 9. So technically we're up like 25% from that wick. But if you just look at a line chart and you look at like a close, then we're beneath that. But if you look at the open, we're above that. It's just like,
yeah.
Nuance. One other question real quick to Iron Freedom. Make a look into PulseChain site soon. Have you thought about that?
I've thought about it a lot. And there's a lot of, I don't want to, it's ironic, right? I don't want to like split the traffic between two different sites. I'd rather keep it all on one site. And like, I don't want to have to do all the work of another brand and all that. And do we do a new logo and different domain? Just all that crap. I'd rather just keep it all in the same site. And even if it's a lot of looking at Pulse stuff, looking at PulseX stuff, I'm still looking at hex.com. That makes sense. Like, keep the brand, even if the name now doesn't directly represent the stats like it used to when it used to be purely hex. Look into RHIs.com.
I was like, what could what could generalize this? Look into RH'sEyes.com.
Yeah. Look into crypto, look into RH, look into but definitely thinking about more PulseChain stats. But at that point, it wouldn't be looking at pulse.com. I feel like the best thing to do at that point would just be like a whole ass block explorer. Just call it something else.
Sorry, I'm just thinking about the meme. I want to see the meme now of look into RH's eyes, and it's got like you're looking, and it's got the website, but you just see the reflection of his eyes in some like close-up picture. And it's cracked me up for a minute.
Damn, bro, how's that man crush?
Well, he's kind of the savior of the universe. Yeah, he's watching the stream right now. He told me.
Savior of the cryptoverse.
Hey, just kidding. I mean, who knows? Maybe he is. Beyond all question, Coffee. What needs to happen for your prediction of $1 to $2 PX to come true, or are you just throwing numbers to lure new buyers?
Both, sir. Oh no, you got me, bro. Look, if you don't think that with all the buy pressure coming in from a little bit of a couple $millions injected from the origin address, right? All the FOMO buying. What needs to happen is people buy it to that price. Genius. Like, fuck. What do you want? I can do the math for you. $10 million, right? If you don't believe it, don't hold it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
T-shirt.
Like, adoption is a cherry on top at this point.
Let's say $90 million come in. If $90 million come in, right, on the $10 million buy side, that's 100x in the price. So that's 50 cents. So if $180 million come in, then we'd get up to my target. Is it possible for $200 million to come into Hex? If you believe it, great. If you don't, I got nothing for you.
I've seen some whales that have a lot of money, and also I know that I haven't seen a lot of retail be buying yet. So there's two bullish things I could think of there. By the way, one other idea for Gerardo: getrichorstopbuying.com. Just came up with that one too. Free ideas today.
Not bad. Is that your chat?
No,
Or
that
is
was
that
for me. That was just me.
Oh, it's you.
Yeah, this got me thinking about that. Anyways, we got just a few minutes left. What's the best chart? What's the chart that you're most proud of? If I'm interviewing you right now, what's the chart you're most proud of, Gerard, throughout your career that you made?
I love this new one, man. I love the hex holders by hex amount and the hex holders by USD amount. I love these. Maybe I'm biased because they're new, but just seeing, for example, how many liquid EHEX holders have $1 million or more. How many liquid EHEX millionaires do we have today? Let's see. Looks like we have 3. No, not 300, not 3,000. 3. 2, 3.
Is that?
And I don't count the 100 million
good?
to 1 billion. Those two, because I think those are OAs. With like one of them has half the hex supply and one has like 100 million. So I don't count those because those are OA, right? But 3 liquid EHEX millionaires versus day 623, everyone's favorite day. We had like thousands of millionaires created from EHEX.
So it's been a long bear market when you think there's 3 millionaires and they're liquid, and you're like, man, those are the 3 that could dump on us. Damn it, no,
the 3 that could dump on us. Isn't that
Everyone
crazy?
Else is staked. Wow, that's crazy.
And then if you look like at a staked EHEX holders.
Real quick though, everyone hear that? Like we used to have thousands of millionaires who were liquid, not just staked, but like thousands of liquid millionaires. And now the numbers went down so much. There's only less than a handful. That's amazing. I mean, it's kind of interesting and like bullish, honestly, in a way. It's like, holy crap. Things like, I don't know. I think it's very interesting.
Talk about washing out the weak hands, man. Like, if you were a whale who wanted to wash out weak hands, I feel like this is a chart you would want to look at if you were someone like RH and just like, have I washed them all out? Have I pissed everyone off enough? Has everyone gone yet? Can I pump the shit without using his extra liquidity?
I mean, anyone can look at it and be like, oh, look how far the hex people have fallen. I look at it and be like, man, that's insanely shaken out of weak hands. And, when and if we are so blessed for the thing to get glory again, oh my gosh, like the people trying to catch that train. Oh, amazing.
Liquid PHEX holders, not 3, 17. A little more. But the fact that you can still count them and they're just like single digit or double digit is actually insane. Now, this doesn't count staked guys. Staked guys are a little higher, like staked EHEX millionaires. You have like 12. Staked PHEX millionaires, you have maybe like 36. So that's actually the highest number of all of those millionaires is staked on PulseChain. So PHEX, obviously, because the price is what, like 4 to 5 times higher. I think 3 times higher now, actually. Yeah, little pump.
What's the ratio? Is it 3 to 1?
Something like that.
Yeah,
I think it's like 0.3.
Man, did we get down to 10 to 1 in March? Is that what it was? Like 8 or 10 to 1?
We did.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was a nice little dip to buy. But yeah, no, this is one of my favorite charts. I'm biased because it's the newest, but I love being able to just see categorized by USD amount or by hex amount, seeing how many people own between this much and this much hex, right? I think that's a really cool thing to be able to look at. Man, I need more chart ideas though. Because like I said, it's so easy to add charts now with the new reworked backend. Shout out GameSys. So like, give me your suggestions.
Well, I love what you've got right now. I'm actually making a tweet right now.
Thank you, bro.
So making a tweet right now, but I'm gonna say that like people should be sharing these, right? The value is in people sharing these on social media, right? It's nice to have, but and they're very colorful, they're accurate, they're nice, but explaining what they mean and just sharing them to new people, that's onboarding people in, right? Luring in the new users, right? Luring them in. What a negative frame, dude. A terrible negative frame. Like,
here's one that you. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say this is one that people might not like too much, and that's why I like these.
Oh, by the way, the 180 million is not coming from one person, right? Like, this is coming from people. Don't realize that other people, like, people are very simple-minded. They like to buy when the price goes up, not when the price is down. So
True.
I'm not saying all this money comes from the origin address in a single big buy. I thought that was obvious, but I guess I needed to clarify.
Right, right.
Other people pile on at the top because they like to buy the highs and they don't like to buy the lows. Yeah.
Sounds like we're
Yeah,
in
it's
on
really
a bearish
cool.
note. Gerard has got a bearish chart for us.
No, it's not really bearish. It's just, it's eye-opening. That's why I love just charting, because it shows you things and makes you think of things like, oh, I didn't see it that way before. There's only 3 liquidity hex millionaires. Or for example, what I'm about to say, which you kind of saw my tone and said, like, is this bearish? But no, it's just eye-opening. Look at how many liquid PHEX holders own less than $1,000 the PHEX. That's the majority of the adoption we thought we had. 592,000 users own even better, less than 1,000, because you could say like 1,000 is a decent position. Sure. Let's look at liquidity hex holders or liquid PHEX holders. Doesn't matter. Less than 1,000 PHEX. That's what is 1,000 PHEX, guys? $5?
Less than that. Not much.
$5? 1,000 PHEX?
I'm gonna look it up now.
$5,000 for $1 million. Crazy.
So 1,000 PHEX is $5.
Yeah, sounds right.
That's 500,000 of our PHEX holders.
What do you mean? 500,000 PHEX holders? Oh, wow. This is cool.
Oh, did I cut out? My
Hex
bad.
holders,
Yeah.
It is $5.
Yeah.
$5.50. You're right.
500,000 users own less than $5 of the PX. So if you want to look at actual holders, I don't know if I would count those people.
This is awesome.
In my
I love this chart.
GigaBrain calculations, you're like, wait, so we only have like 100,000 PX holders with more than $5? What about more than $50? Well, you have less than 50,000 users.
Wow. How did you get this data? This is a good one. I know I'm late to the party. You
on-chain,
probably already
dude.
talked about this, but it's pretty
It's
awesome.
just on-chain looking at amounts people hold.
I mean, it's kind of like a visualization of the staker class, but more specific, like dolphin, whale, all that stuff. But just like, here's exactly how many people you have to worry about at.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the highest level? That have over
Liquid
100?
EHEX, staked EHEX, liquid PX, or staked PX.
How many people have over 1 billion? 7 people only?
Over 1 billion.
And that's probably origin address sub accounts. I would guess sometimes.
Yes. I
Wait,
agree.
2 people?
Liquid PX.
Only 2 people
Liquid
have over
PX.
1 billion. I mean, 660
yeah.
people. I guess you'd have to be concerned about those 660 people.
Yeah.
I don't have 100 million,
Exactly.
guys. I wish I did, but
Coffee's like, I have 98 million. That's not 100.
yeah, only 99. Only
And I
99.
split it into 10 wallets.
No, I really. But whatever. I don't care.
That's another thing, though. Wallet splitting is real. So maybe somebody does have 1 billion and they just split it into 20 wallets of 100 million.
Yeah.
It just goes deeper and deeper. So.
Yeah. But I don't know how many people are really doing that. I mean, at the high end, yeah, probably. You'd want to split them up when you have a lot of money. You don't want it all in one wallet. But
the OA has 200. The OA has half of the hex supply in one fucking wallet. At 250 billion.
The market's been absorbing these emergency end stake dumps, though. Like,
yeah.
I mean, clearly not absorbing it. Price is absolutely wrecked. But
I mean, through the SAC stuff too. I mean, so much has been absorbed. And if you believe that, a lot of the SAC hex is not going to move, or they have other coins to sell, all that stuff. I don't know. That's always been super bullish and underrated to me. It's like there's so much that was SAC'd and the OA. There's so much just not out there that can't be sold. Or if you believe benevolence, it just maybe it'll never be. Maybe it will, but maybe it'll never be, or maybe it will, but it's we'd never know. The market could have, if we get $10 hex one day, maybe the market just absorb any kind of sales, in that way.
I want to see RH go full Tate and just be like, fuck it, burning half the hex supply live on stream. Dunk.
Burning also means less power, though. That's the thing too. That's why doesn't OA burn all the coins?
Yeah,
the check goes away. That's the trade-off. But it's a cool. I mean, either way, it's a cool concept.
Yeah, it comes in clutch during a fork. If you ever need to fork your chain, for example, we saw from Ethereum and PulseChain. Yep, a lot of power there. But or even stacking to yourself.
Guys, I'm really sorry to do this, but I do have to get going.
You're just in time. We're going to get going, Coffee.
Oh,
we should coordinate more so you don't be rude. No, I'm just kidding. No,
I definitely was. I chose Ben over you. I'm sorry.
You showed up late. You chose Ben over me, and then you tried to drop 1 minute early. Jesus, you gotta hang out more often. We gotta get a relationship back in order, man.
I know.
How's Bitboy doing, by the way? He's recovering well after that fight.
That looked nasty, bro. Dude, I didn't even know that he had a fight. I was like, he was like, yeah, my fight. I'm like, oh yeah, so I hope you do well. He's like, oh, it just happened. Like, oh
yeah.
I don't really care about any of
that, bro. Come on.
I just don't.
You're gonna call it a day, Coffee?
I don't care. I don't care about regular boxing. I'm not gonna get into crypto influencer boxing. I don't know, man. But no, he won. He won the fight. He injured his elbow.
He's been in a sling for a while, right? He's been in a sling.
He was out of the sling, so he's healthy. He was talking about fighting. Who's the guy? Billy McFarland from Firefest. He was talking. Remember the Firefest guy?
I watched. Yeah, you guys watch Tosh.0? Daniel.
Yeah,
Tosh?
I love that show.
Tosh, have you seen his new show on YouTube?
No.
He has a new show. It's great, by the way. He interviewed that guy.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a really good interview, by the way. So FYI,
cool. I'll check that out. I didn't know he had a new show. I missed Tosh.0. That was a good one.
I know. I was like, he's got a new show, but it's actually pretty fun. He just interviews just funny like people, but it's really fun. I recommend it. It's called I don't know, search Daniel Tosh YouTube. It's on there. But
yeah. So Bitboy and Billy McFarland.
That's crazy. They're gonna fight him. It's like I just watched.
I don't know. That's not a guarantee. It's not a guarantee. He's like, I don't know.
I thought you said it was a guarantee. You said this is a guarantee. I'm about to say what I'm about to say, and then you said it.
That's how I preface all my statements.
This is not a financial advice. Whatever I say after these words will be guaranteed.
You're guaranteed.
Coffee's new. Stamp it on the bottle. I like it.
I'm trying to.
All right. Anyways, no, like you will not be Coffee. You're too important. You can't go away. I would never give up a Bitboy stream to not have one.
Maybe I'll just go join the class action lawsuit against Richard.
Next time you ask me to stream, I'll be like, man, I'm gonna be like 45 minutes late because Bitboy he just messaged me, and I swear to God, I'll be there just to mess with you. No, it's fine. It's fine. As long as you keep promoting the PulseChain wallet, which literally is just it's cost me money, if anything. That'd be great. Do that. Sorry, I said wallet. PulseChain faucet. That's what I was
going to say. Be very careful of PulseChain wallet.
Not PulseChain. No, not PulseChain.
Yeah, they're sauce, bro.
I have no idea about. I don't know anything about that. I'm just I
don't even like to
just
talk
clarify
about
on
it.
the faucet. It is community driven. It doesn't cost me money as in the wallet. As a community wallet thing. It only costs me time and money as far as hosting and building and all that stuff. So. Yeah. Jesus Christ! Can we end the stream?
All right, guys. I'm gonna head out. Gerardo, you're the man, and also you too, Max. And thank you, chat, for coming.
All right, lads.
Thanks, everyone. That's all we got for you today. Scivive and 5555. We were out.